Welcome back to segment 3 of our series of short audio presentations about some of the complicated subjects associated with the modern uses and misuses and misunderstandings of essential oils and aromatherapy. Now, in the last segment, I talked about some of the more serious issues that are contributing to the epidemic of adverse reactions that are happening, and concluded by giving the very simple solution to all of those problems. Now, in this segment, let's spend a few minutes looking at what can people really expect from using essential oils in aromatherapy. What do they really do? When are they a primary treatment? When are they an adjunct treatment? And when should they not be used? Now, there's a type of question that I have heard repeatedly for many years that indicates the nature of the problem that we're dealing with here. The question goes something along these lines. My grandmother is in her late 80s. She has had a heart attack several years ago. She has high blood pressure. She had cancer several years ago and went through chemotherapy and radiation. She is on 5 or 6 different kinds of medications. She's developing Alzheimer's. What is the essential oil for that? Now, this question tells me 3 important things. Number 1, people have wildly exaggerated, unrealistic expectations about what essential oils are and what they can do. Number 2, it tells me that they are being told highly exaggerated and unrealistic things about what essential oils are and what they can do. And the third is that people have developed a belief that essential oils are some type of magic cure. And unfortunately, they have actually been promoted and marketed that way. Now, if we think about it, that's very much the same attitude that drives people's faith in allopathic medicine as well. It is the magic bullet that is going to cure the problem. Unfortunately, medicine is more complicated than that, and healing is more complicated than that, especially as we get older and conditions become more chronic, more degenerative, more inflammatory, and the more medications that we are on. So let's sort out where essential oils are really a first choice, a first line of treatment, and the best choice, or where they are an adjunct treatment and where they are not applicable. The easy way to do that is to really look at where do essential oils come in contact with the body. And in order to know that, we have to understand the basic ways of using essential oils safely. So first, the most common way of using essential oils is for atmospheric purification and respiratory conditions in a diffuser. This is a very safe and effective way of using many species of essential oils. Now, obviously, if the essential oils are being diffused into the atmosphere, then they will come in contact directly with the mucous membranes of the sinuses and the respiratory system. This makes essential oils and aromatherapy a primary modality for both the treatment and the prevention of a wide range of respiratory conditions. For these purposes, we could also add the use of essential oils in steam inhalations as well as diluted on a compress for applications to the chest. Now, in this form, essential oils and aromatherapy can be said to have some specific detoxification powers, which is that they have mucolytic, expectorant, and decongestant effects. And so they are very specifically detoxifying to the mucous membranes of the respiratory system. But that detoxification process is anti-inflammatory. Now, another major use of essential oils is in aromatic carrier oils for massage. Used in this way, the therapeutic benefits of massage will be enhanced. And there are many essential oils that can be added to these types of preparations that can greatly benefit musculoskeletal disorders. Used in this way, essential oils and aromatherapy can also be very supportive for lymphatic health, and that's another aspect of detoxification. Massage therapy supports the natural detoxification process of the lymphatic system, and there are several species of essential oils that can enhance that process. Now, for most developed musculoskeletal conditions, and conditions where the lymphatic circulation really needs attention to help with detoxification, essential oils are really an adjunct treatment, and the primary treatment is going to be other modalities such as herbal medicine, diet, acupuncture, and so forth. Now, essential oils and aromatherapy can be a primary treatment for some types of stress and sleep disturbances. The reason for that is because the fragrance goes directly to the limbic system when we inhale it, and the limbic system helps to control our moods, mental states, and biorhythms that control sleep and waking. However, even when there is an oil that has a famous reputation for helping people get good sleep, such as lavender, in many cases, it just doesn't do it. And this is very common with aromatherapy, is that by itself, it is often not enough to successfully and completely treat most complicated conditions. However, it can be very helpful as a supportive treatment. Now, what about skin conditions, since the essential oils can obviously come in direct contact with the skin? Well, in some cases, they will actually cause skin problems, especially if they are applied undiluted. However, there are some types of skin conditions where the combination of specific species of essential oils in specific carrier oils can be very helpful. Now, what about the digestive system? Well, we know that this is very problematic because we cannot ingest undiluted essential oils without a high risk of inflammatory reactions in the mouth, esophagus, stomach, and intestines. Here we see the biocompatible use of essential oils when we use them in the whole plant form. Instead of trying to take ginger essential oil internally for digestive problems, we should drink ginger tea. However, there are some ways that we can use essential oils for supporting the digestive functions very nicely. One is to simply inhale some of the spice oils like cinnamon or oregano or thyme directly from a perfume strip or out of the bottle, and this has an immediate stimulant effect on our appetite. This is especially helpful for elderly people who lose their appetite and for people who are going through medical treatments such as chemotherapy. Another way that the essential oils can be used is diluted on a compress applied to the belly, or in a massage oil, diluted, used for abdominal massage. This again can be very helpful as an adjunct for digestive problems, and in some cases, if the condition is not complicated, it can be a sufficient treatment just by itself. Now, what about the claims? Frankincense essential oil cures cancer. First, you should know that frankincense oil is often contaminated with toxic compounds. The second thing you should know is, where did that information come from? It came from fraudulent marketing, of course. But it is based on some scientific evidence. The evidence is that certain species of frankincense essential oil can have an inhibitory effect on certain cancer cell lines in a petri dish. Now, this is where a lot of the misinformation is coming from about the therapeutic benefits of essential oils. Just because it can inhibit a particular line of cells in a petri dish does not mean anything at all in terms of using it in the human body for cancer. And the reason for that is quite simple. There is no known way yet to get biocompatible non-toxic levels of essential oils into the tissues in a way that will kill the cancer cells without killing the healthy cells. However, the good news is that this is an area of tremendous interest for researchers, and most likely we will be seeing the development of new types of medications based on essential oils and herbs and nutraceuticals that are non-toxic and biocompatible coming out in the next several years. In the meantime, we have limited uses of what we can do safely with aromatherapy and essential oils, but they are a primary treatment for respiratory conditions, very, very good, helpful treatment for stress, anxiety, antidepressant, sleep disorders, and also very supportive if those conditions are more complex. They are very supportive as adjunct treatments for musculoskeletal conditions, and in some cases, they are a primary treatment. They're very supportive for many types of skin conditions, and in some cases, they are a primary treatment. The list of what essential oils and aromatherapy is good for as an adjunct treatment is actually quite long. The list of what they can be used as a primary treatment for alone by themselves only is actually quite short. And so just to complete this segment, I will answer the question that I have heard so many times. No, you cannot use essential oils and aromatherapy as a primary treatment to cure cancer. They will not cure Alzheimer's or dementia, although they can be very helpful supportive treatments for the elderly and those who are suffering from those conditions. No, they will not cure autism, although they can be very supportive. No, they will not cure high blood pressure, hypertension. They will not cure diabetes. They will not cure these things because those are deep metabolic, chronic, degenerative, and autoimmune diseases. However, there is an important role when we know how to use the essential oils safely where they can be applied with great supportive benefit. Okay, that concludes our final segment. I hope that these 3 short presentations have been illuminating and helpful, and that you now have more clarity about what essential oils are, what they can do, how they can be used safely, what we should watch for, and what some of the misunderstandings of them are. And finally, thank you for your interest in this very important, very complex, and yet fundamentally simple and beneficial modality of healing.